Hello and welcome to the Hawaii Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us this afternoon. We have a few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. And if you have a question for a specific school, please make sure to name your school or that school in your question so that they know it's for them. Your cameras and microphones are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. So just sit back, relax, and listen to the great information presented over the next 45 minutes. This is just one of many different sessions happening. Be sure to sign up for additional ones where you signed up for this one. And this presentation is being recorded. It'll be available within about a week, again, at the same website where you registered. Really quickly, I'm going to show you the order of the schools presenting during the session. It is session B1, which you can see on the left center part of the screen that I'm sharing, and I'm playing with a fake laser pointer to show you that. So those will be the 6 schools presenting. Now that I've gotten all the housekeeping stuff out of the way, I will step out of the way and turn it over to our first presentation from the representative from Manoa, the Tim School.
Hi, everyone. Aloha. I hope everyone can hear me. Thank you, everybody, for carving some time out of your day to be here. My name is Carissa, and I'm here to share with you 3 different things today. The first thing I'm going to be sharing is what is the travel industry. The second thing I'm going to be sharing is why should you study travel industry management, and the third thing I want to discuss today is why should you study travel industry management at the Tim School at the Shidler College of Business at Manoa. So first off, what is the travel industry? So a quick example to highlight the travel industry would be going to your cousin's destination wedding on the North Shore of Oahu at Turtle Bay. So let's say you're flying in from Maui and your parents decide you're going to take a mini vacation and spend the weekend on Oahu. So to get to the airport, your parents call a cab. You get to the airport, you check in, turn in your luggage, get on the plane, and then you arrive on Oahu. Upon arrival, your parents pick up the rental car and drive out to Turtle Bay. You arrive at Turtle Bay, check in, and get settled into your hotel room. After settling in, you decide you want to lounge by the pool while your parents decide that they want to go golfing instead. And then that evening, your parents decide to have a nice dinner at a local restaurant nearby. The following day, you and your parents drive around the island to look at different sites, including taking pit stops to buy some souvenirs and to go swimming at the beach. That evening, you attend your cousin's wedding. It's catered. There's an open bar. Of course, that's for the parents, not for the students. And everyone has a ton of fun dancing and celebrating. I could continue on with this story, but I think you kind of get the gist, or hopefully you get the gist. Now, think about all the working professionals that made this happen: the front desk agents, the event planners, the chefs, the flight attendants, the managers who ensured that the employees were trained, schedules were made, and that everyone was able to work, the human resources department who ensured that the employees are paid and receiving benefits, and even the marketing department who created an ad that popped up on your cousin's Instagram feed, which led her to choosing Turtle Bay for her destination wedding. All of this is a part of the travel industry. And believe it or not, that's just a small fraction of the travel industry, which leads me to my second point. Why should you study travel industry management, or TIM, the acronym for short? Well, if any part of that story at all seemed even remotely interesting to you, to the point that you might consider having a career in the travel industry, then I would say that you should definitely consider studying TIM. Students who pursue a degree and profession in TIM have the opportunity to help and work with people in a creative and diverse environment that comes with a lot of different variety. And of course, there's travel. A degree in TIM can take you all over the world. So why should you study TIM specifically at the University of Hawaii at Manoa Shidler College of Business? That brings me to my third point, which is one, location. While the COVID-19 pandemic will be forcing the tourism industry in Hawaii to evolve, in the end, tourism will still be here. And in fact, this is the perfect time for the industry to be infused with fresh blood, with new ideas that will push us forward via sustainable practices and also an understanding of the local culture. Hawaii is a tourism destination. How can we help it evolve? Additionally, the TIM school has a required internship and career development component. Students who major in TIM can earn credit for internship experiences and participate in networking and professional development opportunities. We just hosted our biannual Shidler Career Fair, which was held virtually and had over 20 companies give presentations to students for internship and career preparation. The TIM school also provides a lot of financial support to our major students. For the 2019-2020 school year, we awarded over $200,000 worth of scholarships to about 75 TIM major students. TIM students are also able to participate in the annual Shidler Scholarship Brunch, where they have the opportunity to honor and network with their scholarship donors. TIM also has a lot of opportunities for student co-curriculars. That includes our 8 student clubs. The student clubs host a lot of different socials. They also travel a lot. Our students who are part of our honor society, Eta Sigma Delta, were able to travel to New York City for the Hotel X conference. The CMAA students, which is Club Managers Association of America, traveled to Texas for that annual conference. Students in TIMSA went to Vancouver, Washington a few years ago as well. Speaking of travel, students also have the opportunity to study abroad through the TIM school. In fact, we host an annual Japan study tour every spring break where we take a group of TIM students to experience the travel industry in Japan. We also have additional support services, including our freshman mentorship program and also our annual industry networking event called Nakukui Net Links. So students who pursue studies at TIM earn a bachelor's of science in travel industry management and are also able to graduate in 4 years. Additionally, the TIM degree is built on a business foundation. So what that means is that coursework is transferable across all business industries. So for admissions, we are open enrollment. So what that means is if you are an incoming freshman or transfer student, you just need to meet UH Manoa admissions criteria and select travel industry management as your program of study. If you're interested in learning more about TIM, please feel free to reach out to me directly. You can shoot me an email, or you can also sign up for an appointment online via our website. You can also drop a question into the Q&A as well too. Otherwise, thank you for your time. I hope I see you at UH Manoa TIM School Shidler College of Business, and have a great remainder of your Saturday.
Carissa, thank you very much. And I want to remind everyone to use the Q&A button to ask questions of any of our presenters at any time. If it is a question for a specific school, please make sure to name the school in your question. Up next, we'll hear from the representative from the University of Hawaii at Manoa.
All right, students, aloha, good afternoon. Thank you for allowing me to just talk to you a little bit more about the University of Hawaii at Manoa. My name is Jose. I'm one of the admissions counselors with the Office of Admissions. I'm actually the Hawaii Regional, so I'll be your point of contact this upcoming year. So you should all be familiar with the University of Hawaii. We are the flagship institution for the University of Hawaii system. We're located right in the heart of Honolulu at the entrance of Manoa Valley, about 15 minutes up the road from Waikiki. Our total campus acreage for UH Manoa is 320 acres. So comprehensively, everything that you're looking for a college experience is gonna be in one setting. We have our athletic complex and University of Hawaii Athletics and student housing on lower campus. And on upper campus, you'll find all of your academics. So everything that you need for college life in terms of extracurriculars, laboratories and whatnot will all be situated in one area. As you can see, it's a very urban setting, which is around our campus. So there's a lot of different opportunities for you to even explore the neighboring areas around our campus. Just in summary for our student body, we have roughly just shy of 18,000 total students at UH Manoa. 65% of our students are Hawaii State residents, 27% of our students are from the continental US, and the remaining percentage is international. So according to US World News Report, we're actually the 6th most diverse college campus in the entire US. We have all 50 states, over 120 countries and territories represented. So as you guys may know, Hawaii is a very diverse place in itself, and that's also reflected on the college campus. So within your classes, within student housing, you're able to connect with students from different parts of the world. Our total undergraduate population at UH right now is roughly about 13,000 students. And our freshman class, which started a couple weeks ago, we roughly had close to about 2,000 students. So even with the pandemic going on, it was nice to see that we still had a pretty large freshman class. Our student to faculty ratio is 13:1. Average class size across the board is about 22. And we do have over 104 bachelor's programs at UH Manoa. So we do offer programs ranging from animal sciences, also American studies, all the way through zoology. So A through Z, we have everything from the arts, performing arts, business, pre-med, law, engineering. So across the board, we have tons of different opportunities for you that you can pursue as degrees. And in a nutshell, we are a Research One university designated by the Carnegie Institute. There's only about 115 of us throughout the continental US that are designated Research One. And we're one of only 5 schools in the country that has a land, sea, space, and sun grant designation. So most universities only have 1 designation or 2 grants. We have all 4. So what that means for you as a student is you can take a lot of what you learn in the classroom, a lot of what you learn in lecture, and you can put that into hands-on applications during research. You can do community-based involvement. We do have a lot of really great research facilities and different types of extensions that you can access as a student. So our most well-known research facility is actually pictured here. This is the Hawaii Institute for Marine Biology on Coconut Island, also known as the only research facility in the entire world built on a coral reef. So if you're looking at marine sciences, this is one of many facilities that you can access. And you can even start doing research as early on as freshman year. Other well-known programs for UH Manoa, as Kirsten mentioned, travel industry management, international business is currently ranked 15 according to our World News Report, physics and astronomy, our College of Social Work, our College of Nursing, as well as our College of Education and Engineering. So like other universities, there's a lot of ways that you can really make the most of your UH Manoa experience. You can get involved in over 240 registered independent organizations or clubs, get involved in fraternities, sororities. You can work out at our new state of fitness facility, the Warrior Recreation Center. You can even get scuba diving or scientific diving certified through the Marine Option Program, or work for a nationally syndicated college newspaper called Kalea o Hawaii. So there's a lot of ways that you can really get involved. And the main thing that you can do for yourself to make the most of your college experience, number 1, try to do as many things as possible, attend as many athletic events, get involved in clubs and organizations. But most importantly, number 2, try to make as many friends and connect with different people from different parts of the world, because your college experience will be driven by the amount of friends and relationships that you build. We are also a Division I athletics school. So with your student ID, you get free access to all home games for athletics. And we have some pretty good sports teams. Our men's volleyball team, as you may know, has been ranked first in the entire country the last 3 years. We also have some really great study abroad opportunities for you as a student. You can take Manoa anywhere. We partner with about 160 universities throughout the world. Also, we have domestic abroad programs with the National Student Exchange, where you can actually go and study abroad to over 200 partner universities throughout the US. And lastly, your cost of investment. For Hawaii State resident tuition, it's going to be $11,304. So a rough estimate per year is about $26,000 if you are going to live on campus. Okay. Thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, please keep in contact with us.
Thank you very much. I want to remind everyone to use the Q&A button on your screen to ask questions of our presenters at any time. And make sure to, if you have a question for a specific school, make sure you name the school in your question. Up next, the representative from the University of Manoa, College of Tropical Agriculture and Human Resources.
Hello, everyone. My name is Irene Morrow, and I'm a proud alum of UH Manoa, and I'm here with my colleague, Miley Singh. She'll be helping in the Q&A if you have any questions for us. We are academic advisors in the College of Tropical Agriculture and Human Resources, which is a part of the University of Hawaii at Manoa. The College of Tropical Agriculture and Human Resources, abbreviated CTAHR, or CTAR as we like to say, was the founding college for the University of Hawaii at Manoa back in 1907. That means we are the original college of the campus. Our mission of our college is to create and deliver knowledge that supports and strengthens families, agricultural and food systems, and the natural environment. We offer 9 majors that are designed around 4 different focus areas. These include food and ag systems, environment and ecosystem management, global markets and innovative design, and community health and resiliency. And I have a short video to introduce you to those majors.
Ekomomai. The University of Hawaii at Manoa is home to 15 colleges and schools, including the College of Tropical Agriculture and Human Resources, or CTAHR, or CTAR for short. What is CTAR? These 5 letters represent a diverse college where students have the option of studying one of the 9 undergraduate majors, including fashion design and merchandising. Students learn how to design, create, or become fashion entrepreneurs in fashion. Human development and family studies looks at how people grow and how they form relationships throughout their lifetime. Tropical agriculture and the environment. Students will learn sustainable agricultural approaches and skills. Dietetics is the science of how food and nutrition affects human health. Food science and human nutrition provides students with the knowledge and skills needed to work in the arenas of food. Animal sciences study the biology of domesticated animals. Biological engineering is the use of biology and engineering to develop solutions for a wide variety of technical problems. Molecular biosciences and biotechnology encompasses many of the cutting-edge disciplines in life sciences research. Natural resources and environmental management takes a look at natural resources with a particular focus on how it affects the quality of life for both present and future generations.
All of our programs incorporate hands-on experience and internships. They can prepare students for professional programs like pharmacy, veterinary, or medical school, or further studies at the graduate level. Some great opportunities that we have for students in CTAR are a variety of research and internship experiences, scholarship programs, computer labs, and a student lounge with a food pantry, study areas, and even small appliances for heating food. CTAR is also known for providing excellent student support. We have a dedicated advising staff for all of our majors and even our prospective students. For incoming students, we offer assistance with navigating your transition to campus, registration for your first semester, and we conduct a new student orientation to foster an early connection with other CTAR students and our faculty and staff within the college. Thank you for your time, and we hope you learned a lot about CTAR and enjoyed learning it too.
Thank you very much. And again, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, want to remind everyone, if you have questions, use the Q&A button. And if you have a question for a specific school, name the school in your question. Up next, we'll hear from the representative from Soka University of America.
Okay.
All right. Hi, everyone. I'm Ashley. I am originally from Ewa Beach. So I was born and raised on Oahu, and I went to a public high school, and I really used a lot of my resources at that high school to help me go to college in the mainland. And so for my role here at Soka, I am one of the admission counselors, and I'm your assigned admission counselor. So if you have any questions about our university, go ahead and contact me directly, and I'll help you as much as I could in your transition and college exploration journey. And so for Soka, we are considered as a very young university on the university block, if you would say. We just opened in 2001, so we're about turning 20 years old. And everything at Soka is very much based on our mission. And so we want our students to be global citizens, committed to living a contributive life. And I just share with students that we just want you to use your Soka experience to learn more about who you are, who you want to be in the world, and how you want to give back to it. And so we are located in Orange County. That's about an hour south of Los Angeles, an hour north of San Diego. We're about 20 minutes from the beach. That was really important to me and other Hawaii students on campus. We have 450 students enrolled at Soka. 450. So yes, very small compared to other universities, smaller than my birthday party. I'm just kidding. I didn't have a birthday party, COVID, social distancing. But even with a small campus, we have 40% of our students are international students. So small campus, but a lot of representation from around the world. And one of the reasons why we stayed so small at 450 is because that's how many beds we have on campus. And so we are a traditional residential campus. All students live on campus all 4 years, and all students receive a bachelor's in liberal arts. And I'll go over what that looks like on the next slide. We do have some athletic teams in our NAIA division, and I'll go over some merit and need-based scholarships too. So like I shared, all students receive a bachelor's in liberal arts. That is your one major on campus. So it is very different here at Soka. You could see a list of the general education requirements there, and I'll go over one of them that's very specific to us as well. But right now I'll go over some of the concentrations, with the first one being environmental studies. That houses your ecology, environmental management, policy, and urban planning. It also houses your earth and ocean sciences and geography. Your second bullet point for humanities, that houses your history, art history, literature, music history, and philosophy. Third bullet point, international studies, that houses your global and thematic issues, international economics, trade and development. It also houses your international relations and peace and conflict resolution. For life sciences, that is your most newest concentration here at Soka. It opened this current fall 2020 semester, and it requires, or it has all the courses that you need that's required for med school. So if you're thinking of going into the medical profession or into public health, that would be the life sciences concentration for you. And last but not least, we do have our social and behavior sciences. That is your most popular concentration on campus because it houses your psychology, sociology, political science, anthropology, and economics. And so one of the programs that I do want to highlight is our language and culture program, because it requires students to take a foreign language, one of the 4 foreign languages that is offered at Soka. So Chinese, French, Japanese, or Spanish. And the reason that we need our students to take that foreign language during their first 2 years is because it determines where they go and study abroad for a semester in their 3rd year at Soka. So all students are required to study abroad, either fall or spring semester. You will still be taking courses abroad as well. And all the expenses for study abroad is calculated into the cost of attendance. And so the tuition covers your flight, your room and board, meals, transportation, even the courses that you're going to be taking and everything like that. So we do have domestic abroad options for those who may not be able to travel outside the country due to health or legal reasons. All students do live on campus, and this is a quick snapshot of what the rooms will look like. You do get a bed, desk, and closet included, and a full bathroom. So all rooms are built with a full toilet, sink, and shower, and it'll be no more than 2 to a room. And you could see a list of the amenities and services there. If you're one who loves food, a lot of our programming includes it. This is just an example of what different programmings that we had this past year. I got to participate in tacos and succulents, which was really nice to interact with the students. But unfortunately, my succulent died because I overwatered it. So that is some of our programming there. And here are some examples at the very bottom of how students can get involved on campus, but I'll talk a little bit more about the photos here. And so on the very far left, we have two students sitting on the bench. That's Adrian and Sarah. They are in their graduating year at Soka. And when they entered as first-year students, they applied as tour guides to work for me. And so that is one of the on-campus jobs that they were able to apply for. And Adrian studied abroad in Costa Rica, and Sarah studied abroad in Spain. The very middle picture is just your typical graduating Soka class. One of the traditions is that art mural at the very back. Each graduating class would contribute a piece of that art mural in the student union. I don't know what they're going to do now because the mural is slowly creeping onto the ceiling, but we'll see how that will evolve over the years. And on the very far right are our orientation leaders. So last stretch, really quickly, these are the different sports that we have in our NAIA division, and we do have athletic scholarships as well. And this is a very quick snapshot of our admissions and financial aid information. We do have an early action deadline and regular decision, and we are on the Common App as well. And that's just a snapshot of our financial aid. We have need-based and merit-based, and also we have a named scholarship for our Hawaii students as well. And so if you'd like to get to know more, please feel free to contact me, and I hope to get connected with you soon.
Ashley, thank you very much. Again, questions? If you have any questions for our presenters, use the Q&A button. And if it's for a specific school, please name the school in your question. Up next, we'll hear from the representative from Evergreen State College.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Carl Forbes, and I work at the Evergreen State College in Olympia, Washington. We are a member of the Western Undergraduate Exchange, or WUI. So that means that we have a special tuition for students that come from Hawaii. I'm going to get everything going here, talking a little bit about, I did not attend Evergreen. I've been working at Evergreen for the last 2 years. And so since I didn't attend Evergreen, I don't have that insider look. So as I talk about Evergreen, I talk about Evergreen from the standpoint of what makes Evergreen unique, because this is one of the differentest places that I've ever worked and seen. And so that's what I like to share with my students. So the first thing that makes Evergreen different is that there are no majors at Evergreen. Very similar to what you just heard, every student who graduates from the Evergreen State College graduates with a Bachelor of Arts or a Bachelor of Science. We'll get to that in just a moment, but there's no majors. So that means that you get to, since there is no major, there's no list of courses that you're required to take in order to graduate from Evergreen. So since there's no list of courses that you have to take, you get to choose the courses that interest you and that you're passionate about taking. So you choose all those courses, and then when you accumulate enough credit to graduate, you graduate. You choose your path. You go for a Bachelor of Arts, Bachelor of Science. What designates the difference between the two is how much science and math that you take in your degree. Second thing that makes Evergreen unique is that you have a very simple schedule. If you take a look at the model on your screen right now, the model to the left is a conventional college schedule where you have 4 different classes, and it's up to you to figure out how these fit in to a large major or whatever. At Evergreen, you take one course. It's one multi-subject integrated course that could be taught by 1, 2, 3, and sometimes even 4 faculty members. But you have one schedule. So that means you have one set of exams, one schedule of classes, one set of papers to write, things like that. So your schedule is very simple. And because of the fact that you're going to be in this one class full time, we break up what happens in your class so that we can appeal to a lot of different learners. Me, I'm an auditory learner, so I work well in the lecture environment. But there are other students that don't learn like that. Some need to work in workshops where they're doing things, using their hands and doing more tactile things. There are some people who learn better by reading and doing their own research. And maybe in the seminar class where you do the reading, you pick out the questions that you want to discuss in class, and then you lead that class discussion. Some students learn more cooperatively and they work better in groups. Some students learn by being in the environment, taking a field trip or a study abroad. And then there are some students that like to do that lab work, whether they're in a science course or even in an art course where you're in some type of studio. So that's broken up throughout the week like that. In your student progression, you are going to go for 180 credit hours. We are in a quarter system, so every year you get somewhere around 45 to 48 credit hours worth of study. And what we hope is that in the beginning of your freshman year or your first year experience, you're exploring and taking different things that you've always wanted to take or are always found interest. And then as you move through your sophomore, junior, and senior year, that you're getting more focused in what it is that you want to do and where you're going professionally. Is it going to be law school? Is it going to be medical school? Is it going to be some other type of graduate school experience? Or are you going to enter the work world? Hopefully, as you get toward your junior and senior year, you're emphasizing, and I'll talk about emphasis in a second, you're emphasizing the cluster of subjects that you're taking, or you're looking at ways that you're going to apply your learning, whether it's going to be in a semester abroad or some kind of other kind of travel experience, or is it going to be some type of work experience? When we talk about emphasis, because you have multi-subject courses, if you take a look at the model on your screen right now, in those multi-subject courses, what you're looking for is that common course that you're taking throughout all your different courses. So in this particular example, it was visual art. And so when this student graduates, they will have an emphasis of 45 credits in the visual arts. So you have to have 45 credits in a subject area in order to declare an emphasis, and that shows up right on your transcript. What I didn't mention before is that those courses that we have, those multi-subject courses, we don't call those courses on our campus because of the fact that they have lots of subjects in there. We call those programs. So if you ask a student at Evergreen what program they're doing right now, they will tell you what they're actually doing right now. They won't tell you some thematic or major type of thing. But we do have the individual courses for students who need those individual courses, who need to take just biochemistry or genetics. Let's say you're looking at med school, things like that. Med schools are very prescriptive of what courses they want you to take. Excuse the pun. We also have individual learning contracts where you can develop your own coursework, and we also have internships, as we talked about before. The last thing that I want to mention to you is that we don't have letter grades. So when you take a course at Evergreen, what's going to happen for you is that you're going to write a self-evaluation, but your faculty also spends time evaluating you as well. And you sit down with your faculty member and you discuss that evaluation. You also evaluate your faculty every year. And just to leave you, we are on the Common App, and we also have our own individual institutional app, and all of our application fees currently are waived for a little bit of COVID relief. Thank you very much for attending.
Carl, thank you very much. And again, questions for any of our presenters, use the Q&A button to ask them. And if it's specific to one school, name the school in your question. Up next, we'll hear from the representative from Eckerd College.
Hi, thanks so much. I hope everyone's doing well. Last but certainly not least, so thank you to all of you who are hanging in there with us. Let me go ahead and share my screen. So my name is Jacob Brown. I'm the Director of Admission at Eckerd College. Eckerd is located in St. Petersburg, Florida. So Florida is obviously a peninsula, and St. Petersburg's a peninsula on a peninsula. So we're on the Gulf Coast or the West Coast. This is campus itself. It's about 188 acres, sits right on the Gulf of Mexico. And we have our own waterfront, which I'll talk about in a little bit. Some of the unique aspects of Eckerd. First and foremost, I think what makes Eckerd pretty unique is our geographic distribution and geographic diversity. 80% of our students come from outside of the state of Florida. And so our students are coming from 47 different states, 41 other countries. We have a student right now on our women's D2 volleyball program from Hawaii. But on average, our students are traveling 1,000 miles from home to come to Eckerd. That's very, very different than most colleges and universities where the average distance traveled for students from their home to a college is about 200 to 250 miles. So you can start to make some generalizations that Eckerd students tend to be a little bit more adventurous. They're comfortable going certainly a plane ride away and being the only student maybe from their high school coming to Eckerd. The other unique feature of Eckerd is that we have a 414 academic calendar. So instead of semesters or trimesters, the 414 academic calendar relates to the number of courses you will take as a student in any given year. So you will take 4 courses in the fall. You'll also take 4 courses in the spring. And then every year you'll take 1 course for a short term for 3 weeks. So it gives you an opportunity for those 3 weeks to really hone in and study something. In your first year, that short term happens at the beginning. So sophomore, junior, senior year, 414, the 1 course, the mini course would happen in January, what we call winter term. However, in your first year, it happens in what we call autumn term. And just like Hawaii, August in Florida does not feel like autumn, but that's how we named it. And so this is your opportunity as new students, first year students, to come in 3 whole weeks before our upper class students. And so this is your opportunity also to transition, to really start to be comfortable, to figure out where all the buildings are. And it's also when you're going to take your first academic course. It's what we call an autumn term course. Your autumn term course is not major specific. So you're not going to take Psych 101. It's also not a course that's about like managing your first year. These are courses that have different themes or try to solve different questions or problems. Students have a selection of about 26 different topics. They choose 6. We place them in one of them that they'll study for autumn term for those 3 weeks. Keep in mind, all of our students come in undecided. So these are some of the courses that you might take. Mentoring is also important as only an undergraduate institution. So we don't have any graduate programs. It's only undergraduate students at Eckerd. And so one of the things that we find really, really important is the relationship between you as the student and your faculty mentor. The faculty member who teaches that autumn term course, that course at the very beginning, becomes your first faculty mentor. You'll also stay with that mentor and the same 20 or 22 students for your entire first year through another course, a foundation course we call Human Experience. And you'll take that in your first, in fall semester as well as in spring semester. Once you declare your discipline, once you declare your major, you will have a mentor within your field of study. And so this mentor will help work with you on research opportunities, making sure that you're graduating on time, also connecting you with the greater network of Eckerd alums. And so we really encourage you to take advantage of that mentoring. The other nice feature about being only an undergraduate institution is that you will not have to compete with graduate students for research and other hands-on opportunities and experiences. Here's a list of our majors. Most popular major, what we're known for, our flagship program is marine science. And so if you're interested in maybe a smaller liberal arts undergraduate college and doing marine science, come and see us at Eckerd. Then you can go back to University of Hawaii and do marine science in the graduate program. Some of our other popular majors are the environmental studies. Animal studies is one of our newest ones and certainly is growing in popularity, as well as international relations and global affairs and psychology. But we've got about 42 different academic majors and programs. As I mentioned, January is where you'll do your short term. And so you'll take 1 course for 3 weeks in the month of January. A lot of these courses are international. Unfortunately, not in January this year due to COVID-19, but we really are excited about getting back out and having our students explore all over the world. And so we're number 2 in the country for students, the number of students who go and do short-term studying abroad. And so about 70 to 75% of our students will study abroad at least once before they graduate. Finally, we've got a great waterfront. Yes, we're pet friendly. There's a dog there. As I mentioned, the waterfront is right here that can serve academically as recreationally. These guys are going out on a kayak. We also have XR, which is a search and rescue program. And so we really do take advantage of our Florida location. Finally, this is our application requirements. We're on the common application. Early action deadline is coming up. It's November 15th. And we are waiving the fee for anyone who is submitting an application by December 1st. And we are a member of Colleges That Change Lives. Finally, this is my contact information. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Be happy to help.
Jacob, thank you. And I'm going to leave that up for a second or two as I ask each of our presenters to come back on video and unmute their microphones. Again, any of our attendees, if you have questions for any of our reps, please use the Q&A button. And over this, we've got about 5.5 minutes left. We'll do a little fake talk show here and go around and get some of our reps' thoughts on some of their cool things about campus here as we allow time for the questions to come in to get answered. So we'll go in the same order that the presenters went in. So I'm reminding everybody what that order is by sharing my screen. But the first question I have, it's just a fun one really. And it's just, what's your favorite campus tradition?
Hi, sorry, my camera is having issues, but hopefully everybody can hear me. In terms of my yeah, sorry, I'm trying to start my video, but I'm
That's okay.
getting an error message. I would say that one of my favorite campus, at least specific to the Tim School, the beginning of every semester we have like a back to school like event with students and just kind of welcoming students back onto campus. And every year it's been like pretty fun since I've been with the Tim School to be able to participate with that. There's free food. So that's always really nice. And it's always nice to just see everybody again on campus. So I guess I would say that's one of my favorite things.
And University of Hawaii at Manoa.
I guess probably my most favorite thing is we have a really large, well, two large concerts, one every fall and spring. So we have the Welcome Back Bash and Aloha Bash, which are really large concerts. We bring really great artists in for our students. But probably my most favorite tradition obviously is going to be graduation, because graduation in Hawaii, there's nothing like it. You get hundreds of leis, and that's probably everybody comes to celebrate, you know, your accomplishments as a student. So that to me is the best thing about going to school at UH Manoa.
Fantastic. University of Manoa.
Yeah, so following along with what Jose was saying, as an alum, some of the favorite things were going to those concerts that we had. But speaking specifically for CTAR, we also have a welcome back event for our students. We have free foods, ice cream that's usually donated by Metagold, and of course convocation too, which is our specific graduation ceremony that we have just for our CTAR students. It's always good fun and just celebrating their accomplishment.
Excellent. Soka University of America. How about you?
Yes. Commencement is definitely a favorite tradition, but the night before commencement actually is one that students put on for their families and friends. They have a nice fancy dinner, and the graduating class puts on songs, skits, and dances just to kind of show their gratitude for their families. So that's one of my favorite traditions to see.
Excellent. And the Evergreen State College.
Hi, everybody. We have an opening event, a clam bake, and with our mascot being a gooey duck, it's kind of funny that we have a clam bake to welcome everybody to campus. But my favorite event is Juneteenth, which is actually the last Friday of class all the way in June. And it's a big party with music and food, and it kicks off the graduation week the following week. And there are probably 10 different graduations on campus.
Excellent. And Eckerd College.
Well, I'm going to have to stay with the commencement theme, but give a different spin. So as I mentioned, we are pet friendly, pet friendliest campus in the United States. So students can live with their dogs and cats and reptiles, all sorts of things. So right before you graduate, right before commencement, we do a pet commencement. And so your dog and your tortoise and your lizard can all graduate and, you know, shake the paw or hand or whatever it is of the president.
I won't ask about job placement rates for the various pets that get to graduate, but
they do well. They do really well.
Yeah, I'm sure. So we have a little more time, and again, I want to make sure we get all the questions answered if any come in. But really quickly, if same order, but the one thing you would get, one piece of advice you would give to prospective students or people who are doing the college search right now, the one takeaway piece of advice you'd go, and Carissa, we'll start with you if you can get your camera to, or your microphone to work.
I would say The one thing through a college search is just to make sure you find something that's a good fit for you. So look at all the things, right? So not just location, but all the various parts that go into pursuing a college education and finances. So that's two. Sorry, two.
Excellent. And I think Irene, I think you'd be next. Oh, I'm sorry, Jose, sorry.
Oh, okay. I guess for me, on a more practical note, when selecting your major, kind of look to see what you think of what you want to do after you graduate as your deciding factor, and also look at the job market, the potential for that. Because eventually, when you graduate from college, your main goal, in addition to having a great time in college, is to get a good job. So I'd utilize that as a way to really determine your major.
Now, Irene, I think I've got the order correct.
Thank you. Yeah, definitely what Carissa had mentioned, really looking at all those aspects, especially the finance, applying for as many scholarships as you can, and knowing, hey, it's okay if you don't want it, or if you don't know what major you're going to go into, it's okay. That's what, admissions counselors are for. That's what advisors are for, to help you kind of explore.
Ashley?
One piece of advice, keep asking questions as you're applying, as you're looking for schools, even when you're at college already, keep asking those questions. And that's what we're here for, right? We're helping you to make a very well-informed decisions. So keep asking those questions to us.
Up next, Carl. Carl, you're still muted.
Sorry. My advice is to be open. Sometimes you know exactly where, or you think you know exactly where you want to go, but take a look at other options, because you might find things that you like that you never even thought were important to you.
And we'll end this with Jacob.
Don't be afraid to take a look and research some schools that you may never have heard of. There's lots and lots of places out there, and you might just find that perfect fit. And last thing is also breathe. It'll all work out, even in the middle of a pandemic.
Always good to remember, not just for college search, but pretty much day-to-day life at this point. So I want to thank everyone for that great information in the Q&A and also in your presentations. And I want to thank all of our attendees for joining us this afternoon. When you close this window, there'll be a link to a very quick 4-question survey. We'd appreciate any feedback you can provide. Also, this is just one of many sessions being hosted. Be sure to sign up for an additional one where you signed up for this one. And in about a week, you'll be able to find the session's recording as well as all of the other session recordings. Again, the same place you registered for this session today. Again, thank you to all of our presenters for the great information, and thank you for joining us. Have a great rest of your day.